What up, YouTube? I'm out here in the Copacabana, whatever you want to call this, because I'm on a meal break, because, you got to eat. So I did get everything in. I've been working inside since yesterday. We set up some stuff. Didn't want to do the she shed just because I've been in the she shed all month. So we're out here having tacos. Don't judge the way everything looks. This is just for the purpose of nourishment because I have to eat. Um, so yeah, so we're gonna sit in silence for a minute while I put my food together. And I have all these bags because when I was out in the she shed, I would, bring my food out and then I'd have to put it away. And then in a rush to put everything away, I just ball it all up in a bag. Ball it up in a bag, not throw that A in the circle, but ball it up in a bag. I would just ball it up all up in a bag. Oh, there's ants coming. I would just ball it all up in a bag and throw it in the fridge. So there you go. So yeah, so that's what I'm doing. Wanted to talk about a couple different things. Recently, and I guess the first topic I would talk about is how social media, which we already know is like a Trojan horse. All our electronic devices are like a Trojan horse, really. But the reason that I came to say this is because over the past couple of posts or whatever, I found myself talking a lot about, without really intentionally trying to, but there were race topics thrown in there, like here and there. And what I came to realize is that I was like, why am I talking about race? It's not even an issue for me because, one, I'm not even around anybody. I'm in the house all the time. And two, don't I have better things to talk about than race? And the answer is yes. But then I realized what was happening is that when I'm on TikTok just suggests, and I haven't had this issue before, one of my accounts got banned. I had a private video, and I guess just because it's private doesn't mean somebody didn't see it and somebody saw it and I guess they didn't like it. Y'all know me, I'm a natural person. What happened, I think I mentioned this before, what happened was I was working, I needed a break, and usually when I'm working on stuff, I have TikTok going on in the background. And there was this guy that did this dance, and I really enjoyed the dance. So I didn't have any, of course I wasn't dressed, because I'm never dressed. But I wasn't dressed, so I got up, and I was like, well, I won't post it. It'll just be private. It was private, and I get up and I did the dance. And I was immediately banned. So there you go. But yeah, so anyhow, so of course, for different entities, I do have different accounts. So it keeps pushing me all this stuff about this race stuff. I'm not even into it like that. Like really, I don't know how to say it. I don't care. And the reason I say this is because, and I happened upon a video today that's hit the nail on the head, and I've been saying this so much because black people don't treat black people good, and it's just like in the communities that I'm in and that I live in, all I see are black people. And so for me, if all you see is black people, there's so many opportunities to be good to each other, and I don't see it. Now, one thing I'm going to say is this, that like you may have an instance where, okay, I'm going to tell you, I guess I have to tell you the backstory, but let me just get to the point. The point of it is this, is that sometimes people will show one face to one person or party and another face to another. And I guess that's basic, manipulation, human manipulation. But like I said before, it's so much I can't even get into it. But yeah, so talking about how social media manipulation, because it's a known fact. There's nothing to talk about. And like I said, I'm older now, so I shouldn't even really care to talk about it at all, which, typically I don't. But the thing that made me, I was like, why am I even talking about that? Is because I'm realizing, because it's not a daily occurrence in my life, I don't really have to, I'm, to myself. Don't nobody bother me. I don't bother nobody. I like it like that. So, it's a great life, you guys. But, so what I realized, the reason that I was talking about it was because TikTok kept showing me all these things about race, and everything was just straight up like black brutality and you know, just terrible things. And I'm just like, I just really don't want to see all this all the time. And just and some stuff where I mean, I don't want everything to be about race, you know. Can I just enjoy somebody doing a DIY or somebody just doing a dance? And then when they talk about they're going on strike or whatever because black creators, this, that, and the other, and then of course it's not gonna happen because we don't have that type of, there's not that type of unity in this community, you know. I mean, yeah, so that's when I realized that, hey, I'm being manipulated by social media, but we all are, you know. And so even when I try not to even spend any time looking at those type of videos, I scroll right past it, it's still presenting me with that stuff. And I know that like Google and your apps and your devices, it picks up conversations and things. But there's no conversations here with me. It's just me by myself. So the only time you hear me talking is if I'm talking to YouTube or something like that, you know. So I don't know why it's sending me that, but you know, I would like to enjoy my life. You know what I'm saying? And speaking about that, now I'm going to talk about a little bit about sensitivity. So God always has a way of you know, when I'm curious about something or I'm not getting something, God will put something right in my face, like bam, you know, don't ask that question anymore. Okay, so the last video I was talking about, you know, the same little angst that I had, and I mixed it in, you know, because for whatever reason they keep putting race stuff on my thing, and I really, you know, I leave you alone, you leave me alone, we're all good. But so what ends up happening, I don't even know I have both of these cards in here, but I do. But what ends up happening is I go to the grocery store, right? And I live in this little country town, and I love the country. There's little things, of course, that I've seen here and there that have made me go, you know, that made me a little antsy. Like I saw cotton fields, and I didn't quite know how to feel about that. But I'm like, they're just cotton fields. Cotton exists. You know, you'll be okay. But if, you know, in any direction, if you go a little bit out, of course, you're going to have a little bit of something special, you know. And I went to the grocery store. And this grocery store, everything's within 5 miles, honestly. But this particular grocery store, is one in the chain that I usually go to. But I remember looking at a house down this street, it's a little bit out, and I remember the feeling that I got was like, you don't want this house. Like, I just felt, even though I didn't see like Confederate flags blasted everywhere, something in my spirit just like, you know, you really don't want to go there, you know. And so yeah, and is this onions? I think they are red onions. They are red onions and tomatoes. Okay, so don't let the flies come over here. I'm trying to eat. So yeah, so as I was pulling up, I saw this pickup truck, and it had this huge Confederate flag just flying in the wind, and it hit my heart like immediately. I know that, and it's something you can feel the spirit and energy of things, you know. Man, oh my God, I've neglected this area, so now I haven't tied down my little shields, but and that's annoying. But yeah, so excuse me, y'all, while I get nourished a little bit. I might take this in the house. I really like the outdoors. I just don't like the bugs. Okay, so, and the reason I'm doing this while I'm eating is because I really don't have time to do this, so I'm multitasking. Which I really can't, because I really am hungry, because I wait till I'm really hungry because I'm working so much, but I'm not starving hungry. If I don't eat, I'm gonna pass out hungry. Oh, I was supposed to put cilantro and parsley on here. I forgot. Oh well. I don't know. Come on. And my shells are broken because they are. They weren't at first, but oh yeah, I didn't put anything green on here. Lettuce, nothing. Need some green. That's what I should do. Just make a whole salad on the plate and just, that's what I'm gonna do. That makes more sense. Oh yes, the green is what makes it good. Oh my gosh. That's some lettuce. Where's my parsley and cilantro? I know I have some. I know I bought it out here. Don't play with me. Probably yellowed and wilted because I got it closed up and balled up in a bag, which is not how you're supposed to keep it. But I'm gonna eat it anyway. And green onions. Oh. That's good enough for me. And I don't know which is which. These have yellowed and they probably should be thrown away, but I am going to chop them up and put them on here anyway. And I eat the stems and everything. Oh. And I hate flies. They're so annoying. Bugs are annoying. So I think this is going to be my last meal outside too, because I think I've had it with all this crap. Yeah, definitely. I'm done. Okay. So that's good enough for me. But yeah, so when I saw that Confederate flag, my heart immediately dropped because what it said to me when I saw it, and normally it doesn't bother me, you know, the story behind it. But I think because of everything that I've seen on TikTok, now it hurts me a little bit. But, you know, because people are saying, oh, that's just the heritage, whatever. But as I look and I see, I don't know, it hits me a little bit different now. Like, it hurts me because all I could see when I saw that Confederate flag with that big old pickup truck driving off like that with it flying. I mean, that flag was huge. It was about as big as a truck, okay? So if you get close enough, it'll smack you in the face or hit your car, you know? All I saw was like some pickup truck dragging a black person behind it, you know? And, you know, all people from the African diaspora, we're all, you know, considered black to a certain extent, I guess, but it's just the cultural thing is different. And when I see that, that's where I can get with what black people are complaining about, or, you know, because I see it, you know, but I guess what turns me on that is just when I see how black people treat each other, you know, that's what bothers me. Because you want so bad for somebody else to change, but look at you. It's almost like if I sat here in my yard, and even though the neighbor's yard is really, really bad, and I'm talking about their yard, but, you know, there's things that I can do in my yard, you know. My thing is, why is everybody so worried about, I mean, not worried, but, you know, you're pointing at things that are publicized and all this, but what about what you're doing? You know, look at what you're doing. Speaking of which, talking about today, one of the things I had talked about in the past was how, you know, I was going to try to remind myself when I go out and about, you know, to, even for temporary tattoo, write it on my arm, don't forget your crown, because when you go out and about, you're going to have to switch your swear your tribe. So this is the second thing. The first thing I was talking about was the Confederate flag and how it hit me different. The second thing that I'm talking about is not forgetting your crown. And this is all about race too. There's a gas station that I don't really like going to. It's a ghetto one. There's one gas station that's the ghetto gas station I used to go to because it was just closest, right? That I knew of. There's another gas station that I thought was more expensive. But I started noticing, hey, you know, there's a lot of attractive things to look at when you go to this one, you know. So I call that the Bay gas station. And then there's another one where the guy was really nice that worked there. And so I wanted to patronize. Is that the right word? Patronize. But you know what I'm missing? Refried beans. But I don't feel like getting the blender out and doing all that right now. And again, this is influenced by stuff I saw on TikTok too. So it influences, what you take in influences your behavior and and your perception of the world. Because I didn't really care about all this stuff before. But anyway, so gas station. The broke down gas station. Okay, hold on. I went to quote unquote Bay gas station at first, but all the gas pumps were closed down. I don't know what's going on. Noticed that happened at another gas station. So I think one by one they're going through all the gas stations and doing something. I don't know what they're doing. Because like last month it was another gas station where all the stuff was closed down. I had to go to a rinky dinky one by my house. That I would never go to. I don't like those hole in the wall like ones where all the guys stand up front. I don't go to those places for nothing. Yeah, I try not to anyways. But yeah, so ooh, these flies are not gonna let me eat. And I see ants coming. My God. Oh, that scared me. But yeah, so let me eat. Sorry, again, I'm multitasking. This one was a lot better than the first. Green really makes it. I had the meat and the seasoning simmering in the pot for like days. Eating spaghetti, which I would have preferred because it's easier. Because the way that I make it when I make it to cook long, I just put all the sauce in the pan. Put all the in the way I started out making tacos, right? Oh, it's Taco Tuesday. How about that? Just a coincidence. I started out making tacos, but then I had meat left over. I was like, I could use some of that meat for spaghetti. So I left the meat in the pan, and I put the meat that I was going to use for the tacos in a crock pot and just put the seasoning in there and let it simmer. And the meat in the pan, I just dumped spaghetti sauce in the pan and then dumped noodles in there and let it slow cook until it was cooked. But when I went to go check for it, oh, why, flies? Why? Go away. And I went to go check for it today. I was going to scoop some spaghetti onto my plate, eat real quick, and then get back to work. It was cold, so the fire heating up. So I was like, well, let me just go ahead and eat these so-called tacos. Oh, flies are crazy. Oh yeah, I didn't do any more. I think I'm gonna throw these tomatoes and onions away. This looks like they've seen better days, and then I really adding a whole lot to my flavors here. So, but yeah, so gas station. So I went there to get some gas. The last couple times I went there, there was always this white girl there. There's usually a black lady there. I think she lives somewhere on the street. I don't know. And I remember she was telling me that she was this past Christmas, first Christmas, that she would be by herself. She didn't have her husband because they got divorced or whatever. And then there was this white girl, heavyset white girl. Her hair is cut kind of like mine, with the bob when it's done. I didn't do it today, but you know, it's fine. I'm alright with it. But so the last few times, maybe 3 times I went there, I noticed that whenever I came, she found a reason to like make me wait. You know, like one time she started flirting with this black dude. Another time she started talking to someone else. This time she started looking and paying attention to what was outside. And I'm like, I'm sitting here I got shit to do, you know. And I didn't say anything the first 2 times, whatever. I just was like, you know, whatever. I found better gas stations to go to, so I'm good on that. But for whatever reason, like I said, I don't really go anywhere, so I don't really use much gas. Excuse me. So I put like $5 in. I mean, you know, gas is like $3 a gallon these days. You know, and basically I'm putting gas in there like that just so I could meet the requirements of my card to make X amount of transactions, you know. So if I do a little bit here, a little bit there, but the gas kind of goes really fast when you do that. So it's like $5 to be like 1 day's worth of gas, which I don't go anywhere anyway, so it doesn't matter. But anyhow, so I'm sitting there and she's rung me up and I'm putting my card in and then she runs out talking about some, what is it? And I know she hear me talking to her. I'm like, excuse me, ma'am, we need to finish this transaction. And she's all crazy trying to pay attention to everything outside, right? Again, the moral of this is don't forget your crown. So there's another worker that's not sitting there that wasn't doing anything. So she came up to help me, another white girl, right? And I'm just like, then finally the other white girl, and I'm like, you just left me in the middle of a transaction, blah, whatever. And she was just like, oh, did you see what was going on outside? I said, well, did you see what was going on right here? You were in the middle of a transaction, ma'am. You needed to finish this. This is what you get paid to do. Whatever's outside is outside. And the bad thing about it was, and there was some guy that was using the squeegee to squeegee the floor, the concrete. But I didn't care about none of that. We're in the middle of a transaction. You finish this. But anyhow, it's always something. And she would have had me sitting there forever if the other girl hadn't come. And the thing about it is, don't forget your crown. Had I remembered my crown, I would have nicely been like, hey, I wouldn't have said it, but I would have thought to myself, I didn't want to come to this gas station anyway. There's one up the street where they appreciate my service. It's better. I'll go there and I won't ever darken this one again. And that's what I should have done, because now she has my card information. Who knows if she went back and looked up something. People are stupid, you guys. Don't take nothing for granted. And being someone that's been around people like that because of the situation that I had, that some of y'all know about. If y'all research me, y'all see it. There are people that do things that you say, oh, okay, that's stupid for you to think somebody would do that. No, people do stuff like that. I shouldn't have forgot my crown. There's better ways I could have handled it. One, I could have, been like, hey, it's okay. Nice to got back in my car and drove off and went on about my business. And they won't be getting any more of my business, by the way. And then the second way that I could have handled it is, the next person that came up, just, who's the manager? Find out who that person is, and kind of nicely going about my business, and don't ever patronize that place again, But again, don't forget your crown. It's so important, because you don't ever want to be less than the queen that you are. And then when you think about it, again, and now this is another viewpoint that I had about it that I wouldn't have had, except I've been watching TikTok in the background. TikTok keeps feeding me these race things, and I'm tired of seeing it, to be honest with you. And so now I'm just regurgitating whatever's splurged into me out here. But there was a lot of black women that were talking about how all these white women appropriate black culture, and I hate getting into that because I'm mixed myself, half and half actually. And, I understand the dynamics from that part. But now that my mom has disowned me, it's like, whatever. But, but that's still, the mainstream the way that they advertise black people, that's not my tribe. You know what I'm saying? Not those types. There's different types, different tribes. I'm not part of that tribe. But, so what they were saying about how white women appropriate the culture that's here, and how come every white person that acts black, they're doing, basically the bottom line is they're saying they're doing it all so they can hook up with a black dude, all to impress the black man, which may be true, may be true. I remember my mom wore an afro. She had an afro wig. So there you go. But, and she's Asian, so hey, that was back in the 70s. But sometimes it's not about her culture. Sometimes you just like it. And, then a lot of people had points about how black people wear blonde wigs and blonde this and weaves. And I agree with that too. You know what I'm saying? One race can't point a finger at the other. It's the same, on that level. On governmental level, that's a whole different thing. There is a genocide about to happen, you guys. But we'll leave that alone because I don't want to go there. But and it is happening actually. But yeah, so I thought about that, and I thought that maybe every time I come in, she does that because I'm a female. 2, I'm a female, obviously, of Afro descent. 3, I'm an easy target because whatever my spirit of vibe is, you can tell, I'm really not confrontational. 4, that's her practice so that she can look more black. And she has the wrong image of what black is. Her image of what black is being able to be rude, set people aside. And that's what her thing is. So she's practicing being black so she can be seen that way as a black man. But anyhow, I digress. I'm going to finish this food and get back in. And I'm sorry about all this. But and I am gonna not watch these videos that TikTok keeps sending me because but fly, damn it, fly got on my food, and now I got all this sauce on my dress. I need a bib, for real. But yeah, so lunch and race shop. Just feeling you know, some things that I've seen. Not necessarily true or false, just, you know, just sharing. Taco Tuesdays, I inadvertently had tacos by mistake just because it was the default. But yeah, I hope you guys are having a good day. Get some fresh air. I need to get some exercise. I don't have time though. Right after I eat this, I'm going back into work. But I love you guys. Have a great day. Red and yellow, black and white. We're all first in sight. I love everyone. And the other thing I learned about too, J. Edgar Hoover was actually black. He was a passe blanc. But anyhow, bye.